So ladies, I met this woman. She used to come minister to us in jail. I don't know. It was just, she was drawn near to me, she said. And she just wanted to be there for me. And she worked at the courthouse and, and on her days off, she would come to the jail and do church. And so I told her, I was down on my knees praying at the altar, while I was, incarcerated, and she just come up behind me and I told her, and I just grabbed her and I was like, Miss Kay, I can't have a child. And she was like, trust God, trust God. And I was like, man, I cannot do this. Like, I don't know how to be a mother. And I couldn't even be a mom to my other kids, and it was just like, I was in such a dark place that I was almost scared to try to love a child because I didn't know if I could do it right.
Yeah.
And I wanted him to have a good life. So just kept on saying, trust God, just trust him, like you're not even giving him a chance to like do anything in your life. And I'm like, oh my God, do we have time for this? Like, do we have time to trust God?
Welcome to the Intertwined Life podcast. I am your host, Jenny Zentz. I am a wife and a mom on a mission. I've got a passion to help women discover practical ways to apply the power of God's word to our everyday stuff. I truly believe that our walks with the Lord should be seamlessly intertwined with our everyday lives. It should affect every move we make and every breath we take. So come on, let's do life together. You've got this, because He's got you. Addiction, incarceration, unplanned pregnancies, but God. Friends, you know I love those but God moments, when all that came before no longer matters and everything changes. In today's very special episode, I have the privilege of interviewing New Life Mission student Jessica. Jessica's story of coming to the end of herself and finding the beginning of a brand new life for her and her family is so powerful. I know you are going to love this. This is an episode that is actually part 4 in the 5-part series that we are doing here on the podcast, featuring the work of New Life Mission, a Christ-centered not-for-profit organization in Brevard County, Florida. It exists to transform the lives of homeless women with children, helping to break the cycle of homelessness and getting them on the path to dream again, and some of them to dream for the first time ever. In this beautiful, raw interview with Jessica, you will get an inside look at where these brave women come from and the powerful transformation they undergo when they rise to the challenge of entering the life-changing program at New Life Mission. And I want to give you a warning. Do not cut out before the end of this episode when I ask Jessica what she would say to a mom who is currently in her place 5 years ago. Ooh, it is powerful. Enjoy this, and I'll catch you on the other side. God, thank you so much for this time. Thank you for the privilege of meeting and being able to meet in this crazy way that we can now, Lord. And I just thank you for Jessica. Lord, I thank you for her bravery to come in and just to speak, God, about what you are doing in her life, Lord, about what she's gone through and where she's headed to. And Lord, it's like I always say, my mess is my message. And I know that whatever, Lord, has happened in her life to this point, you are so excited to use it for good. God, you have a plan for her life that's incredible. And there's so much power in just taking all our broken pieces and throwing them at your feet. And I thank you that she's doing that, Lord. And in speaking in this way, she is going to be speaking life and freedom into the hearts and lives of so many others, God. It's through the hard times that we can impact so many more people. So I thank you for her. Bless her, God, for doing this with us. And just let our conversation be honoring to you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, Jessica, welcome to the Intertwined Life podcast. I am so excited to have you talking with us today. We're continuing in a series about New Life Mission, which is a nonprofit in Brevard County, Florida, that is transforming the lives of homeless women with children and really helping to break the cycle of homelessness and get them on a path to dream again. And Jessica, I'm so glad that you're here, and you are currently a student at New Life Mission, correct?
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, girl, I'm just props to you for coming out and speaking. And like, I love to say my mess is my message. And so I hope that you can relate to that, because if we have a life where nothing bad happens and nothing goes wrong, not too many people can relate to that. right? But if we
Right.
are just real and we're transparent and we're just like, listen, because for me personally, Jessica, depression, anxiety, those things are massive parts of my story that I've struggled with for so many years. And what I'm learning is as I just share my story and the things that the Lord is teaching me, it helps other people. So it's a lot more beneficial to just throw it all out there and let God use it, right? So I'm thankful that you're doing that today. And I know that you're going to be blessed for that. And I can't wait to hear your story. So I'm going to let you first just tell us a little about yourself, maybe where you're from, and you can just launch into your story in your own way, like how you found New Life Mission and what things were like for you that led you to that point.
Awesome. So, yeah, I do have a little bit of anxiety, so
That's okay.
all gonna be okay. Um, yeah, so my story is just um, it's a little messy and it's a little crazy, but um, I was an addict for a very long time, for 10 years. I lost two children over it.
Mm.
I had no family, no, I'm from Kentucky. It's a very small town, so everybody knows everybody.
Hmm.
And it's not hard to, keep in touch with the old and the new down there. And it's just something that I moved on from. But yeah, so I'm a recovering addict. I got 2 years sober now.
Awesome.
I found New Life Mission through Sally's House, which is located on Palm Bay Road. Great program also. So yeah, I love New Life Mission. It's building my confidence every single day. I'm learning how to work with my hands. I mean, I'm just like my mind's open to all new opportunities now. I meet wonderful people every single day of my life. It's a beautiful picture that God's painted. I'm just excited to see where they're going to be in, the
Oh,
future also. It's just exciting.
that's awesome.
I know I still need some work. I think, yeah, it's just something that
We
takes a
all
little bit
do.
more time for others, and it takes sometimes not that much time. So yeah.
That's awesome. No, you're right. And we're all works in progress, no matter where we are. And sometimes no matter what the outside looks like, right? Because so
Right.
many times people look like they have it all together and they are a mess on the inside. And I think that's where the power of transparency is in our story. We're going to impact so many more lives when we let our mess show than if we clean it all up on the outside and pretend like we ain't got no problems, right? And it's just true. And I'm also from a super small town in Kentucky. So that's amazing. We literally just learned that 20 seconds ago that we have that in common. Who knew? God knew. That's so cool. So I know exactly what you mean about the little bitty place where everybody knows everybody's business. And that
Yeah.
can be hard. That can be really hard. So how did you get to Florida?
Well, it's just a really funny story actually,
Yeah.
because I found out I was pregnant, and so I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I mean,
Mm.
I literally thought about 100 different ideals, adoption. I thought about everything really. I asked family members, were they interested in having a child? Like, because in my mind, I was like, I am not doing this again down here. Like, I have been here my whole life and I know what this place is about.
Yeah. And that was your third pregnancy, your third baby?
Yes, this is my
Okay.
third pregnancy. So I'm like, I'm not going to put another child through this. Like, of course, my wonderful son that just got baptized last Sunday, by the way,
Aw.
he's 8 years old. I'll have to share that with you. But it's like an awesome video. I have an awesome video to show you guys.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. His adopted mom is amazing. Me and her, it's God. It's all God, because me and this woman didn't have a relationship for like 8 years. The whole time,
Mm.
the whole time she had my son. And then I prayed to God. I said, God, please open doors, that shouldn't even be opened really, because I don't deserve it, but I do deserve it. But it's just
Amen.
a conditional love thing with God.
Yeah, girl.
So now me and her communicate on a daily basis. And
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Oh, that's so exciting.
oh girl, I mean, I'm just overwhelmed with joy about it. It's
Mm.
what God has done. But
Oh, gosh.
where was I at, girls? Tell me, come on now. Oh yeah. So ladies, I met this woman. She used to come minister to us in jail. I don't know. It was just, she was drawn near to me, she said. And she just wanted to be there for me. And she worked at the courthouse, and, and on her days off, she would come to the jail and do church. And so I told her, I was down on my knees praying at the altar, while I was, incarcerated, and she just come up behind me, and I told her, and I just grabbed her and I was like, Miss Kay, I can't have a child. And she was like, trust God,
Mhm.
trust God. And I was like, man, I cannot do this. Like, I don't know how to be a mother. And I couldn't even be a mom to my other kids, and it was just like, I was in such a dark place that I was almost scared to try to love a child because I didn't know if I could do it right. And
Yeah.
I wanted him to have a good life.
Mhm.
So, and she just kept on saying, trust God, just trust him, like you're not even giving him a chance to like do anything in your life. And I'm like, oh my God, do we have time for this? Like, do we have time to trust God? And she's like, yeah. So she was just like, just hang in there and be patient and whatever. So I done my time, and I got out, and there she was waiting on me, walking out them doors. And
Oh.
I was so happy to see her, and I was so thankful. And she runs a transitional housing program in Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
And so she took me in. It's called the Hope House, and she took me in there, and I slept there for one night. Is what happened. I slept there for one night, and I think I woke up at 12 o'clock at midnight that night, and I called her, and I was like, and she, goes home during the evening time, and then she'll come back in the morning. Said, I called her, and I was like, Miss Kay, I really need to leave. Like, it's time for me to go. I can't be in Kentucky no more.
Mm.
Just the Holy Spirit, I felt like was like leading me to say, Jessica, it's time for you to leave. It's time for you to grow and go somewhere else.
Mhm.
And my grandma and my aunt, a couple of aunts live in Merritt Island, so
Oh, okay.
I'm going to Florida, man.
Why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like I just jumped on a Greyhound and took off, honey. The church paid for my ticket, and here I am.
Wow. Oh, wow. All right. And then they helped you, like that's how you started finding out about New Life Mission and the opportunities and resources here for you.
Yeah, yeah. So I started in Orlando. I went to rehab down there, and because I still knew um I still needed the help, like
Yeah.
getting my life right and finding them. So I started in Orlando, Women's Residential Orange, and then I went to Sally's, and then New Life Mission blossomed, and I was like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. I'm gonna try it. And then they're like, well, you got to pay to live there and things. And then like all of a sudden you're thinking, oh no, like what am I gonna do? I don't have no income. I don't have this. I don't have that. And then there it happened again. Trust God, and I'm like, all right, let's just see what it's about, And yeah, I don't know.
Girl. Oh my goodness. So now you say you have to pay to live at New Life Mission. Is
Yeah.
that you have to be either in school or working a job?
Yeah, so I didn't know, it's not all about that.
Yeah.
Um, I guess whenever you hear things, they're not, I don't know how to explain that part. So like when you hear things about a place and the first thing they got to say is the negative, only because I don't know, some people weren't ready, and I don't know how
Yes.
to explain that part. Just scratch that part
Yeah.
because I don't
No,
know.
girl, you're spot on. And I think that applies whether we are a middle school
You're
student
right.
or or a woman, that you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. There's several things there. Probably the people that you were around who were giving you that type of information were people who were not at a place where they were ready to make that change.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yes, excuses were what they had, right? And
Exactly. Yes,
that's yeah, and that's what they were giving you. And a lot of times, don't you find that when we're in a situation and we decide we're ready to come up higher, those around us want to keep us down, right?
mhm,
And
yeah.
and Satan wants that. So he's like, heck yeah, everything we can do to keep her down because he knows the power that God's put in you and the plan he has for your life. And that's the last thing he wants. And it is a lot about who we surround ourselves with, right? So you
Mhm.
were having that tug of war in you from the beginning, like, oh no, you don't want to go there, right? So
Right.
but you took that step anyway to connect and you kept hearing Miss K's voice, right? Just trust God, just trust God.
Yeah, so like I'm just here, like, and for one, I was just like, "Man, I'm ready to be an adult. Like I want to be a mature."
Amen.
They were willing to, I want to grow, and
Mhm.
I want to be a mom. And so if I'm wanting to be a mom, then I need to learn how to take responsibilities. I need to learn how to
Girl.
pay for things. I need to learn how to work for things and
Mm.
be appreciative and grateful for what God has to offer me. And that's what New Life Mission gave me. work with me on things and to help me understand this is the journey that you have to walk to be successful. And they only wanted the best for me. There's times that I've got frustrated, and there was times that I got overwhelmed, that I wanted to give up, you know.
Yeah.
But I just never, it's amazing because I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I would have gave up. So what stopped me? Of course, God stopped me from giving up, but was it the help, or like the good advice, or the people believing in you, people having faith in you? Was that what stopped me from giving up? Absolutely, 100%. New Life Mission gave me that, and they made me feel confident in who I was, instead of being like, okay, well, if you want to leave, go for it. You know what I mean? Instead, they
Yeah.
reached out and they were like, no, just grab my hand. We're going to walk through this. We're going to do what we need to do. What do you need? Like, what is your goals? What can I help you do to complete this? Because you are worth it. And you are a beautiful young woman. You are a mom, and you can be a good mom. And I'm just so thankful for that.
Yes, girl. Oh, preach.
Yes, girl.
Oh, I love it. Because it's so true to have somebody look you in the eye and say, you are made on purpose for a purpose, right? And God's got awesome plans for you, and you can do this. And, He doesn't always take away our trials and our struggles, but He always gives us what we need to fight our battles.
Yes.
And that's what New Life has been for you. That's what your caseworkers are for you, and everyone that's surrounding you, the volunteers. And now you've got this community that you didn't have before. And it's like you said, it's not just, all right, let's get you on your feet right now. And if you want to go, go. They're invested on a whole nother level, right?
Right.
I
love that.
And would you agree that God took the pregnancy with your youngest, your baby boy, who is now 15 months, is that right? And that moment of what felt like your greatest fear and your lowest low, and had it not been for that pregnancy, God ignited in you the spark you needed to set you right on that path. Would you agree to that?
I do. Yep. I agree.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's so amazing. And God doesn't make mistakes, right? And it's just, there's so much power in that. And we can look back sometimes and see the hand of God in our life in ways that in the present moment, we can't always see it and feel it. But the power of knowing that He was writing your story every step of the way. And that's what you did. You took that step and you followed the Spirit even when it made no sense to you. And God, that little baby is only 15 months old, and his life has already been used to touch so many. Oh my gosh, the way God used
it's
that.
amazing. I'm still in shock.
I love it.
Really.
Girl, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, and I just met you 15 seconds ago. And I love you.
I appreciate you.
This is so great. So tell me about, as far as New Life Mission goes, what would you say is the hardest part of the program? People all up in your business?
Yeah, that one's super hard. Having somebody to answer to, like, because you don't know these people, like, you're like, oh, like, it's really hard, because whenever you've had nobody to care about you like that for your whole life, and then somebody's like trying to be like caring about you. I remember when I was younger, my mom had passed away whenever I was 4, and my biggest issue growing as a person was, you're not my mom. You're not my mom. I used that as a
defense mechanism, right?
Yeah. So and now, like, then you come into this program and you're like, okay, so yeah, they want to know everything about you and this and that. And that is a hard part. Yeah. But in the end, it's well worth it. You realize how to communicate. It helps you open up to people, and it helps you not to be like on the defense mode, like all the time.
Yeah.
Because I had to get out of that. And that's honestly what it took for me to break down little by little and just open up to people and be like, okay, hey, I want you to know I'm home safe tonight. Or, hey, good morning. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day, and I wish you the best today. That feels good when somebody's actually doing that.
Yeah.
In addiction, your biggest thing was you don't really have relationships. It's all about you.
Yeah.
So for you to be able to even build those little tiny relationships, the good morning and good night text really make a big difference in somebody's
Mm.
life, I feel like. So
Oh, that's such a good word just right there, because so many times people feel like, and I, again, I think it's, the enemy wants to convince us not to do anything because we don't think we can do something big, and I love what you're saying right there. We have power to make a difference in people's lives simply by sending a good morning, good night text. I'm thinking about you, and you are perfect. Like you know, you know the transformative power of that
yeah,
little gesture. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it makes a huge difference. I mean, it changed somebody's whole day, and
Mm,
that's a lot, you know?
girl, what's your favorite part about the program? Is it just like the whole thing? Obviously, the relationships are powerful.
Yeah. So my favorite thing is I love that they include God because a lot of places, it's not like I mean, you don't have to, but they let you know that he's number one. I mean, I love that about New Life Mission. I love the name of it too. Like New Life, that's exactly what it is.
Mm.
100% exactly what it is. And that right there makes me just want to jump up and down.
Yeah.
So
Oh, mm.
so I've never lived on my own either. So for me to have my own apartment,
Oh, yeah, I wanna hear about that. That's so amazing about New Life Mission, that the minute you come into the program, you're given the keys to your own place, right?
yeah.
You're not, like, in a room full of a bunch of people using these community baths and all this. I mean, you, like, have your own home, right? Tell me about that. What was that like?
That was like, it was, I don't know. It was just so like, it was amazing because I'm like, all right, cool. I'm actually going to learn how to be on my own, like to be an adult. Like, and that's like, I feel like that's the number one step to being a mature adult because you have to
Mhm,
take care of your home. You got to make sure um, things are clean and things are good for your children. And
mhm.
it's like, I just thought that was amazing. Like, I just thought that was so cool. And it was a learning experience for me, but I just really appreciated that. I appreciate
Yeah.
the chance to be a mom and to be independent in that matter.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and somebody placing that trust in you, right? I'm sure that
right.
that went a long way in building your confidence.
Yes, yes. That actually really, like, it made me feel like a brand new person. Like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I actually get to take care of what I need, and if I need something, I can actually let them know. And I'm in shock.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
You still can't believe, how long have you been a student at New Life Mission?
So I arrived on Valentine's Day
Aw, of last year?
of last year. Yep.
Oh, yay, it's almost your 1-year anniversary.
Yep.
When this recording comes out, it will be past 1 year. Oh,
Okay,
congratulations.
sorry.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. It is awesome.
Wow. All right. So how about your little guy, 15 months? So he got there, he was itty bitty,
Yeah.
right? So how have you seen him? I mean, and the difference, because between your first two and now this one in this thriving environment and having a mom who's thriving, right?
Mhm.
What are you seeing? What are you seeing the difference in your family and your life and your kiddos?
I just see a lot. Like, I, he's such a happy baby.
Yeah.
Um, and he's so like I don't know. He's just so awesome. I can't even explain it. I don't even know like what
Yeah.
to even say. Like, it's just been an experience for both of us. Like, I'm growing every day, and I'm glad that he's able to watch me grow as in good instead of the bad.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I'm just able to be there for him and stuff. But he's just very independent, like super funny. Like,
Wonder
um,
where he gets that.
yeah, he's so it's amazing how they grow, and I'm glad he's experiencing like this journey with me and seeing and being here at New Life Mission and just being around other children that are going through the same things
Yeah.
and having kids club to get to know other people and just he's experiencing the same things that I'm going through. He's just a little young. He's well,
Yeah.
not a little younger, but he's younger, and he's just it's a really I don't know.
Yeah.
what to think about it really, but
Amazing. He's got a great community around him too. And
yeah.
you know, you guys, I mean, my kids get jealous of the playground whenever we go. Whenever we're anywhere near any of the locations where the students are, my kids are like, whoa, and they're playing on the playground and it's so much fun. He's got such a great support around him and he's got such a great
Yeah.
mama. He's got a great mama. He
Thank
really
you.
does.
Thank you so much.
Oh, so tell me about your hopes, dreams, plans for the future. What's your
Um,
goals? What you working on?
yeah, so I'm working on so much. I'm working on my GED, my driver's license, and I don't know, my goals are just to be successful and just, which that's everybody's goal, I guess, but I don't know.
That's all
I'm still
right.
working on them. I'm still working on them. I just haven't set nothing in stone yet.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping, you know, my eye on God and just, you know, moving forward. Just keep on moving forward because
Good.
there's so much I want to do. You know, I want to do childcare, but then I want to, you know, work with animals, and then I want to, you know, it's just all these thoughts and all these um things that I want to do, but it just all boils down to where God really needs me, you know.
Girl,
So I'm
yeah.
just
You're
thinking
getting,
about all kinds of stuff.
which is exciting, right? I mean, you know, before New Life Mission, put yourself back 2, 3, 5 years ago. Were you really able to dream about the future?
Oh, no way, honey. I never even thought about
Yeah.
anything other than bad stuff.
Yeah.
You
That next fix, right? That
know, yeah.
next thing
Next
that,
fix it up.
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Mm, I
And
love,
I didn't even have time to think either because all you do is cry all the time.
mm,
Only time that you're not crying is whenever you're high, and then as soon as
mm-hmm,
you come down, you're bawling your eyes out. It's definitely the devil,
mm-hmm,
buddy. I'm telling you, it's awful.
mm-hmm.
Well, I just cry. I do sometimes just cry thinking about when I see somebody on the street, or if oh man, like my heart gets messed up like terribly. Oh man, it's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It
But God,
destroys me.
and see, girl, you got ministry in your future no matter what. And we are
Yeah.
all in ministry, whatever our job is, because we are all called to be lights in this world for him, wherever we go and whatever we do, right? To just let him shine through us. But obviously, nothing happens without the ability for God to flip that around. You know, and
Absolutely.
I love the story of Joseph in Genesis where his brothers had sold him into slavery and they
Yep.
actually thought he was probably dead and all this stuff. And then after he went to jail and he was out of jail and he went back to jail and he was convicted of trying to rape the dude's wife, but he didn't do that, you know, and the whole
Mhm.
thing, right? He didn't do it. He was falsely accused. And then at the end,
Mhm.
his brothers come back and Joseph has been raised up second to Pharaoh. And when they realized they were going through a famine and Joseph had done all this stuff and he was able to save the whole nation of Israel and he's like this awesome ruler and at first they didn't even recognize him, and when his brothers come back and realize that, oh crap, that's, you know, that's our brother that we like beat and threw in a pit and then sold off to slavery when he was like 8 years or 12 years old because he was getting on our nerves, and now he literally holds the power of our life in his hands. We're screwed for lack of a better
Yeah,
term, right?
yeah.
And
You better
what
be
does
scared now.
Joseph what does Joseph do? He looks at his brothers who were scared for their life and he says, you know what you intended for evil, God will use for good. And that is the story of all of our lives. What Satan intends for evil, he's so excited when he can get us so messed up, right? And he wants us
Yeah.
to stay there. But that's just it. If we will take, and we have to take that step, right? If we will take that step, you took that step, you met Miss K, you were at the altar, you're like, God, I want to get on track. And you stepped into that, not knowing really what was going on. But
Right.
now all that mess God can use in so many powerful ways. And girl, I'm telling you, sometimes I firmly believe that we are more valuable to the kingdom of God broken than whole, because it's those cracks that the light shines through. It's our mess that becomes our message. It's what makes us relatable. And you are going to be able to impact and change lives that a lot of people, you know, I mean, couldn't do. If they haven't been in that place, they can't reach those people. You can to an extent, but for you, years down the road, to be this incredible woman who's got this life that shows glory to God and has these kids that are serving the Lord, and you walk in and you look somebody in the eye who is in the place you were 5 years ago, and you say, I've been there and I know the way out. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
powerful.
Girl, it's so powerful. God has got awesome plans for you. And I'm so thankful for New Life Mission. I'm thankful that you
Me
found
too.
them and they found you, and that
Yeah.
you took that step. I always say that you guys, you students, are very brave and very strong, because it takes humility and it takes a lot of like dying to self to submit yourself to this program, right? Because it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm so proud of you. Oh, so awesome. All right. So, how about this? What would you say to a mama out there in the same situation where you were, a couple years ago? What would you say to her?
There's so much I would say.
Take your time.
No, just tell her that it's not worth it. And that God will never abandon you, and He'll always be there for you. And just want better for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's so sad to even think about them.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was no hope for me, and there was. I just, yeah, don't give up. Just don't give up. Just reach out for help and talk to somebody. Ask somebody. Because God will put people in your life to help you, and you don't even know it. Like you don't even know that. You just reach out.
That's so good.
I tell them.
Thank you. Jessica, thank you so much. Thank you for doing this with us. Thank you for being brave enough to just put your story out there. And I think the more often you do this, the more practiced you'll be at sharing, because it can be hard. But the fact that you're taking the step to do it, and the more you do it, the more God will give you those words, and He's going to draw those people to you, and He's going to use the things that are breaking your heart right now. That's Him tugging on you, saying, girl, this is what we're going to use you for. He's got such great plans for you. So how about, one thing I always ask people is if they have a life verse or a verse in the Bible that is really meaning a lot to them right now. Do you have a verse that you tend to go back to a lot?
I think it's like Jeremiah. I've been learning about it. Jeremiah 5:1, or is it 1:5?
That's
I
great.
knew you before you were formed in the womb. And so if He knew me then, then He knows I'm here for a reason, and He's got a purpose for me. And I'm willing to, try to discover the opportunity, and just,
That's good.
I'm just happy that He knew me. He still knows me.
Yeah.
Doesn't turn from me, That's a great feeling.
Oh, thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you for doing this. I love
Thank
it. And I guess that's a wrap. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode and that you got as much out of that as I did with the privilege of interviewing her. I am so thankful for Jessica. It was such a blessing to get to know her, to get to meet her, to hear her story. Jessica, I'm sure at some point you're going to be listening to this. Thank you so much. You are so brave and so courageous, and I am cheering for you. And I'm sure that everyone listening to this episode now is cheering for you. So proud of you. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Please, if you have not listened to the other episodes in this series, head back and begin with episode 1. That was the founder and CEO, Ms. Stacia Glaves, and hear how it all started. Enjoy those episodes. And then next week on Wednesday, April 7th, we will tie it up with a pretty bow with our last episode in this series. And we're going to be featuring 2 people who are business professionals in the area who are actually serving on the board of directors for New Life Mission. And it's going to be such a wonderful opportunity to hear from them. They are just real people who are successful and driven in their business, but also have that passion and that calling of the Lord to make a difference in the lives of people around them through the love of Christ. And you're going to see how the work that they are doing, volunteering with New Life Mission and being a part of the board of directors, others is allowing them to perfectly intertwine those two aspects of their life, and how it's really answering that call on the heart of all Christians to walk in that way and show the love of Christ wherever we go. And so I know you're going to enjoy this last episode in this series. Please come back for that. Until then, keep looking for ways to intertwine your walk with the Lord and your everyday life. Talk to you soon. Hey friend, if you enjoyed this episode and you got some good stuff out of it, there's a few options you have. One, you could click that little subscribe button, because let's be honest, who's got time to remember to check back and see if there's a new episode, right? So click that subscribe button, and then when a new episode comes up, it will just, by the magic of the internet, pop up in your Dropbox, and it'll be right there for you whenever you're ready. And also, if you would review this podcast, oh my gosh, if you like what you heard, get on there, give it a 5-star review. If you didn't like what you heard, just pretend it never happened, okay? But if you would do a review for me, just take a couple seconds and do that. Not only would I be crazy excited, but also it would just be a great way for us to partner together, for you to help this podcast be seen by more women out there, and you could be a part of helping more women discover these practical ways to apply God's word to just everyday stuff. So I would love it, love it, love it if you could help me out in one of those two ways.